Okay, y'all, let's talk about something wild that a lot of people still don't really know about. You know Prince, the music legend who gave us Purple Rain and a whole era of greatness. But behind all the lights and fame, Prince was fighting a serious battle. And not just any battle. He was fighting the entire music industry. Prince was one of the first artists to speak out about how badly record labels treat musicians. In fact, he didn't just talk about it. He made it his mission to show the world. There's this famous time when he started showing up to events and interviews with the word slave written on his face. Yeah, you heard that right. He wrote slave on his own face to let people know how he felt. According to him, he didn't own his music, he didn't own his name, and all the money he made mostly went to big companies. He said it was like being in chains, just a fancier version. And then he did something even more bold. He changed his name to a symbol that couldn't even be pronounced. People started calling him the artist formerly known as Prince. He did this to stop the record label from owning his stage name and to take back control of who he was. That move confused a lot of people at the time, but now we can see he was ahead of his time. Now here's something else Prince said that really makes you think. People were out here celebrating Mariah Carey getting a $20 million deal for her album. Sounds amazing, right? But Prince wasn't impressed. He said, "Y'all think that's a big deal? Do the math." Then he broke it down. Prince explained that if an album sells for $18 and the artist only gets half of that, let's say $9, then if they sell 1 million copies, that's $9 million right there. Sell 2 million, that's $18 million. Sell 3 million, and you've already made more than Mariah's $20 million deal. The point he was trying to make: artists don't need huge deals from record labels if they actually owned their work. In other words, Prince was saying, stop celebrating crumbs when you could own the bakery. But here's where the story gets even messier. Enter Londell McMillan, Prince's former lawyer, manager, and so-called friend. Londell started working with Prince during the time he was protesting with slave on his face. Not only was he Prince's lawyer, but over time he became his business partner. He helped him fight against Warner Music, the label that Prince said was taking too much and giving too little. But now, after Prince's death in 2016, some people are giving Londell serious side-eye. A lot of fans and even members of Prince's family think Londell might be more interested in money than Prince's legacy. Some folks even say Prince might have fired Londell before he died, though there's no official proof of that. And that's not all. Londell got in control of Prince's estate, even though some family members tried to stop him. And when Oscar-winning director Ezra Edelman wanted to make a Netflix documentary about Prince's life, guess who shut it down? Yup, Londell. He said it was sensationalized and would hurt Prince's image. But others say he just didn't want certain truths coming out, truths about the real Prince, and maybe the people Prince didn't want around him. Then there's the drama with Jay-Z. At one point, Prince thought he could trust Jay-Z, so he made a deal with Tidal, Jay-Z's music streaming service. Prince agreed to give them one album to stream, just one, called Hit and Run. But after he passed away, Tidal uploaded 15 of Prince's albums. That's right, 15. And Prince's team wasn't having it. They filed a lawsuit, saying Tidal had no right to put all that music out. Tidal responded by saying Prince had given them permission, both in writing and by word of mouth. But Prince's team said the documents Tidal had were fake or backdated. They said Prince never agreed to that deal. Things got really nasty, and Jay-Z even came for Londell in a diss track called Caught Their Eyes. In the song, Jay accused Londell of being greedy, disrespectful, and even selling out Prince. He rapped about how Londell was selling tickets to walk through Prince's house and joked that he'd probably sell Prince's casket next. Londell responded, but he mostly downplayed it, saying he liked the beat. Still, people started wondering, was Jay-Z one of the people Prince was running from? And did Londell really protect Prince, or did he use him? So, like we were saying, after Prince passed, things between Jay-Z and Londell McMillan got really heated, and it didn't stay behind closed doors. It went public fast. Jay-Z didn't just stop at putting Prince's albums on Tidal without permission. Oh no, he went full-on savage and even rapped about the whole situation in one of his songs. In the track Caught Their Eyes, Jay-Z straight up called Londell out by name, and he didn't hold back. Jay said that he sat down with Prince eye to eye before Prince passed, and that he knew what Prince actually wanted. Then he accused Londell of being colorblind, but not in a good way, in a you only see money, not people kind of way. Jay basically said that Londell was ignoring Prince's wishes just to make more cash. And then came the line that had everyone clutching their pearls. Jay-Z said, "You greedy bastard sold tickets to walk through his house. I'm surprised you ain't auction off the casket." Yeah, he really said that. That one bar made it clear Jay-Z was furious. He believed Londell wasn't protecting Prince's legacy at all, but instead turning it into a money-making machine. According to Jay, if Prince had slave written on his face to fight for ownership, why would he want a man like Londell controlling his masters after he was gone? Of course, Londell wasn't just going to sit there and say nothing. He hit back, first with a tweet, saying he wasn't focused on a diss track, but was more focused on making sure Warner Brothers didn't take control of Prince's music. But then he took it further and told Billboard that he was the one who helped Prince break away from Warner in the first place. He said Jay-Z had no idea what really went on, and that he, Londell, was the reason Prince even got to take that slave off his face in the first place. At this point, fans were torn. Some sided with Jay-Z, saying that Prince would have never agreed to let his music be used like that. Others believed Londell, thinking he actually did try to protect Prince, but maybe just got caught up in the business side of things. But let's go back a little. Before all this happened, Prince had been dropping clues. He didn't always say names, but he spoke in ways that made people pay attention. He warned us about contracts. He talked about powerful people who controlled the music industry but didn't make music themselves. He talked about men in suits. Men who sat at the top, pulling strings behind the scenes. Prince used symbols, silence, and clever words to say what he couldn't say out loud. He knew that speaking too directly could bring trouble, but even with the way he spoke, the message was clear. He felt like someone, or maybe even multiple people, were watching him, and not in a good way. And get this, right before he died, Prince posted a photo of himself with a strange message that later got deleted. It said, "Just when you thought you were safe." That freaked a lot of people out. Like, what was he trying to say? Did he feel like something bad was about to happen? Then, not long after that post, Prince had a party at his home, Paisley Park. And he told the guests, "Wait a few days before you waste any prayers." A few days later, Prince was dead. It was shocking. He was only 57 years old. He was found unresponsive in his home. At first, people didn't know what happened. Later, health officials said it was an accidental overdose. They said he took fake pills that looked like Vicodin, but were actually laced with fentanyl, a super strong and dangerous drug. Still, many fans, and even some people close to him, think Prince knew something was coming. And maybe he wasn't just warning us about the music industry, maybe he was warning us about the people around him. That's why so many are still asking, if Prince was trying to expose something, who exactly was he running from? Now, this is where things start getting really spooky. We already talked about how Prince dropped cryptic messages and hinted that he was being watched. But the things he did right before he died, they make people think he knew something bad was coming. So here's the truth. After Prince was found dead in 2016, the official story was that he died of an accidental fentanyl overdose. The pills he took were fake Vicodin, but they were secretly laced with fentanyl, a powerful drug that's killed a lot of people without them even realizing what they took. They said he didn't know the pills were fake, but fans weren't buying it, not fully. Why? Because of all the signs he gave, like how he warned people not to pray too soon, and how he posted that eerie message saying, "Just when you thought you were safe." These weren't just random words. It felt like Prince was trying to tell us something but couldn't say it directly. And guess what? He did tell someone. Reports say Prince shared the names of the people he was scared of with someone close to him. His sister, Tika. Now, some people used to think Prince and Tika weren't that close, but that's not true at all. Tika said herself that they were very close growing up, and that Prince even took care of her when their dad told him to watch out for her. They went everywhere together, and when she struggled with addiction, Prince got her into rehab and helped save her life. He never left her behind. But here's the wild part. Tika said Prince prepared her for his death. Yup. She said he started talking like he didn't have much time left, and he even told her, "I've done everything that I've come to do." She said he made her emotionally ready, starting 2 years before he passed. By the time that final phone call came, when she was told her brother was gone, she had already known it was coming. She said she was crushed, but not surprised. And during their final conversation, just 4 days before he died, Prince refused to open up. Every time she tried to ask him what was wrong, he would joke or change the subject. It was like he was hiding something, like he wanted to protect her from what was really going on. So, who were the people Prince was running from? Tika never told us, and sadly, she's no longer here to share those secrets. But there's still someone who might know the truth, someone who was close to both Prince's life and his business. Yes, we're talking about Londell McMillan again. For all the criticism he gets, Londell knows a lot. He was there during Prince's biggest battles. He was in the meetings. He knew what Prince wanted, and maybe even who he was afraid of. And guess what? Word on the street says Londell might be ready to drop the names. That's right. Allegedly, Londell could be planning to expose the people Prince warned him about. The same people that Prince may have feared, the same ones that might have had something to do with why he's no longer here. If that happens, it's going to shock the entire entertainment industry. But here's the question no one's ready to ask. If Londell really does drop the names, what will happen next? Stay tuned, like, share and subscribe.